Hey everyone, it's Friday, July 24th. Let's talk PlayStation. So it's kind of a quiet week for PlayStation, but there's still some news stories to discuss. Like this new PlayStation Remote is coming for PlayStation 4 now. If you didn't know, usually there's always an actual remote, Blu-ray remote, DVD remote, or something like that usually comes out for a PlayStation console that Sony typically manufactures. Sony has not made a remote for PS4. I have no clue why, but we finally have one that's officially licensed for PlayStation. So this is by PDP, coming out in October for $30. $30 seems pretty pricey, but if you do want a remote for like Netflix and things like that, navigating the menu, not using a DualShock 4, you can now do that. Before, your other options were actually using Harmony remotes, like the Logitech Harmony remotes, I believe, are compatible. I believe Insignia also has like a random ass remote that has PS4 support, but it's not officially licensed. But either way, if you do want a PS4 sort of actual physical remote, this is one of them. So we're getting more and more details about Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection on PlayStation 4, and one little detail that we got is that they're removing certain motion controls in the original Uncharted. So if you remember Uncharted Drake's Fortune on PlayStation 3, you used 6-axis controls for a few things, like you would angle the controller to sort of throw a grenade, or you could walk along like a log and you'd have to balance the controller so that Drake wouldn't fall off or something. Well, that's actually getting removed. So the actual log balancing section is completely removed from what they're saying, and the angling of the grenades with the controller is still in there, but you don't have to use that, which I find kind of odd because the log balancing thing made a lot of sense to me, at least. I mean, if you're going to do 6-axis controls, that was the one little thing that seemed pretty normal and kind of natural in a sense, whereas the grenade balancing thing is who the hell really wants to do that, because that's actually right in the heart of the gameplay, whereas balancing on a log, that was typically during a very slow part of the game or something. But there's that. I mean, it brings me back to the PS3 launch, when all these PS3 games and Sony first-party games were shoehorning in all this 6-axis support, and there was always this discussion of where it fits and where it doesn't, and I felt like that fit. Another good example was in Resistance: Fall of Man, whenever I forgot the name of the Chimera, but there was this kind of grizzly-looking Chimera, twig looking guy that would jump on you, and you'd have to shake the controller to knock him off. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But either way, there's some more details about Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection. We're getting a whole bunch of footage and stuff, and we're hearing how great it looks in 1080p 60 frames, and that the character models for the games are going to be looking pretty much close to Uncharted 3's character models, which is pretty exciting. So that special edition Metal Gear Solid 5 PlayStation 4 is now up for pre-order at game locations. It's exclusive to game. We all know that the bundle was previously only announced for UK, Europe, Australia, those territories, but you can pre-order it right now, and there's an extra, the cheapest one's £360, all the way up to £500, and that's going to include the special edition of the game, a headset, the strategy guide for the game. So looks really cool. Again, I think this console looks really, really awesome, and I'm one of those people who, even if I don't buy something like that, which I probably more than likely won't, I can't wait for that stuff, because I wait for it to come out, and then I watch all these unboxing videos on YouTube of people pulling out this super cool special edition PS4 that I don't have. So Sony announced that PS4 firmware update 2.57 is coming out soon. It's going to include software stability, so basically nothing. But here's the caveat. Earlier this week, it was discovered that on the PlayStation Store, if you go to the Journey PS4 dynamic theme, the store page for that, and you looked at the preview thumbnails for the actual theme, you could actually see that there is a new icon in the top right, in the top portion, the XMB portion of the PS4's dynamic menu, and it looks to be a calendar icon, which may hint to that the next major firmware update, or maybe 2.57 or whatever, right? Clearly this shows that we might have a calendar app coming to PlayStation 4 at some point. There's no other details. Sony didn't say anything about this. All we know is that happened, and then shortly after, Sony said, hey, 2.57 is coming. Now, initially when I saw this, I was like, oh, for the love of God, because we all needed that feature, right? A PS4 calendar app, when we've been doing this whole hashtag better PSN thing. And that's the one thing I've never seen anybody ever ask for, is a calendar app on PlayStation 4. But I started thinking about it, and I thought, the functionality might be cool if you say Sony starts to track, your gameplay time and stuff like that, or you played this game on so and so date for this long, or what have you, or there's some sort of integration with what your friends are doing, and you can look at their statistics and stuff throughout the week, or whatever, right? Something like that. Something to make it a little bit more interesting. When you hear calendar app, you initially think oh, an actual calendar app that you would log into and set up appointments and shit on and things like that, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, who the hell wants that on PS4? Now the 2 people that want that on PS4 are going to comment in the comments below, like, oh, come on, Ryan, I want that. Okay, dude, I'm going to assume you're in the minority there. Alright, time for some Xbox news. Well, not really. So Rise of the Tomb Raider, we all know, was announced as Xbox One exclusive, but really, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics had a pretty tough deal with Microsoft where they couldn't really say anything about when it's coming to other platforms, but it was confirmed that it was a timed exclusive in a sense. This is the first time that they've actually publicly said when the game is going to come to PC and PlayStation 4, or if anything, this is really the first time they've ever said it's coming to PC and PlayStation 4. So PC apparently is going to be getting the game early 2016, and PlayStation 4 will be getting the game a year after the Xbox 360 and Xbox One release, which tells you that the timed exclusivity on console is a year. So if the game does in fact come out this November, you won't be playing it on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 until like 2016, holiday 2016. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we all kind of saw that coming, right? We all knew this was a timed exclusive, no matter how many times Square Enix tried to dance around the answer, or Crystal Dynamics had to say, like, we can't say anything, or what have you. Microsoft made this deal. They must have had a pretty explicit agreement in terms of the wording and PR statements and things that they can actually tell people. But it's nice to see that they finally admitted it in a sense, right? Because that's just really annoying when you can't say, if it's not truly exclusive, just come out and say that it's coming to other platforms and stuff. Or, well, what good is it going to do that you say it's not coming to PS4, but it is, we have a time duration with the game? Like, what is that wording? I mean, that's just so stupid and ridiculous. Like, and that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of business practice that I don't like with Microsoft. You want to have time exclusives, whatever, but why do you got to be so, picky with the statements and wording and allegations of all your third-party exclusives? Just let it out there. So for our last news story, I know not really an exciting PlayStation week, but so there's this game coming out. It actually is out right now, I believe. It's called Peacefall. And this actually isn't old news, but I thought it'd be cool to talk about here since the week's kind of slow. So Peacefall is a game that was actually made by students, and it's the first game to be released from PlayStation First, which is an academic program that Sony is doing that is giving certain universities and certain students, they're giving them development kits and everything. They're giving them access to PS4 hardware and everything to actually develop and publish and release games on PlayStation 4. And I find this really, really cool because not only is that whole premise actually cool, but, Sony, initially when they showed the PlayStation 4, they said, this is an easy console to develop for. It's super easy. You can start something on PC. You can have a game made on PC or whatever and port it over to PlayStation 4 and have it up and running in a matter of, a few weeks to, 24 hours. Some developers have said that it's easy to get their game to start running on the system itself. So that right there tells you awesome that Sony really did that. It's really, really has done a good job in that regard. But even more so when you look at sort of the history of consoles have always typically been seen as, in the industry, sort of a luxury in a sense if you're a developer, right? If you can publish on a console, you kind of made it in that sense, right? Not to disown PC in that regard, but PC is that open platform. You can do anything you want on PC. Anybody can start a game on PC. Anybody can release a game on PC for free or price it, sell it wherever. But when you get to a console that's actually dealing with the big hardware publishers and everything, think of it like indie music finding like a record label in a sense. It's like once you've gotten to console, you have sort of really broken into a more mass market sort of situation where you could possibly earn more money. And it's just funny to see that consoles have evolved this thing where it's like so easy to develop for, and now the hardware manufacturers are so lenient to help you get a game published on their system. They'll give you development kits, they'll let you make payments or something. They will do whatever they can to get you to get a game onto PlayStation. Those are just some of the news stories I want to talk about with you guys this week. Again, not a super exciting news week. I really hope like some major news story doesn't break out right after I upload this. That's my biggest fear recording these things, is like I upload them Friday morning and then boom, Friday afternoon has this huge news story that I didn't get to talk about. But oh well, if it happens, it happens, and we'll cover it up next week. So if you did not see it, part 1 of the Jak 2 Let's Play is finally up. Woo! I finally did it. I finally told you guys I would upload that thing, and it's awesome. If you all want to relish in how much I love Jak 2 and you want to hear me talk about ridiculous things like I normally do on Let's Plays, that is finally up. Let's Play schedule is finally starting again. So Jak will go up every Monday. I know you guys kind of want more of that, but right now it just sort of works out to once a week right now. And also the Ryan on Gaming topic for this past week was the hashtag BetterPSN campaign. Will Sony actually respond? Now, of course, Sony PR has said, like, oh, you can submit ideas to PlayStationblog.share or whatever the hell they call it. But no, will they really respond? Will they actually, do something about this campaign that people are asking for? And, ooh, my DualShock 4 is out. I need it bright in the background. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It just looks better to me. But, new episode next Wednesday. Keep submitting topics for that. And I think that's about it, really. So, that concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation. I'm Ryan Benecki. Thank you all so much for talking with me, and I'll see you guys all next Friday.